Hong Wu's fist crackled with energy, casting an ominous glow in the dimly lit arena. With focused determination, he surged forward towards Lu Fan, his teeth clenched in concentration. This was it, the moment to unleash the Qi strike, a technique that intensified the force of his punches by condensing Qi, amplifying damage especially on vulnerable spots. Across from him, Lu Fan remained composed, hands casually tucked into his pockets. His eyes, however, betrayed a serious intent as he calmly observed Hong Wu's approach. The distance closed between them, and Hong Wu unleashed his attack with all his might. Yet, just as his fist should have made contact, Lu Fan vanished before his eyes. Confusion gripped Hong Wu as he scanned the empty space where Lu Fan had stood moments ago. Where had he gone? Was this some sort of flash technique unique to mages? Hong Wu's mind raced with questions, his fear evident in the tightening of his clenched fists. Suddenly, as swiftly as he had disappeared, Lu Fan reappeared beside Hong Wu. His presence was accompanied by a swirling aura of intense blue energy, marking his mastery of Qi control. With a calm voice, Lu Fan explained the versatility of Qi masters, adept in both close combat and long-range defense. Hong Wu, still reeling from the sudden reappearance, began to turn his body, trying to anticipate Lu Fan's next move. His thoughts raced with the implications of facing such a skilled opponent. Meanwhile, Lu Fan extended his hand, gesturing for Hong Wu to come closer. A small smirk played on Lu Fan's lips, teasing Hong Wu about the effectiveness of his attack. Around them, the spectators, students from the academy, watched in awe and confusion. They had expected a heated duel, but they hadn't anticipated the depth of skill displayed by Lu Fan. Murmurs of surprise and admiration spread through the crowd as they witnessed firsthand the prowess of the two combatants. Hong Wu's anger erupted like a volcano, his fists glowing with intense energy as he locked eyes with Lu Fan. His voice reverberated through the arena as he declared Lu Fan's demise. With a shout, Hong Wu launched into a relentless barrage of punches, each strike powered by the rising mist ability, a technique that sent waves of air with every palm strike. The misty waves enhanced damage inflicted on weak points, intensifying by 5% with each successive wave released. As Hong Wu poured his energy into each punch, his determination grew, his Qi reserves steadily increasing with each strike. In response, Lu Fan countered with agility and speed, dodging and weaving through Hong Wu's onslaught. Despite the evasive maneuvers, Hong Wu pressed on, resolute in preventing Lu Fan from summoning his dragon pet. He strategized to exploit any moment of weakness Lu Fan might show, believing victory was within his grasp. Lost in his focused assault, Hong Wu's concentration wavered for a crucial instant. Suddenly, Lu Fan materialized right before him, fists clenched and momentum building for a strike. Hong Wu, caught off guard with arms extended, froze in surprise and confusion. His expression shifted dramatically as he struggled to comprehend the sudden turn of events. Refusing to yield, Hong Wu raised both arms defensively, his gaze fixed on Lu Fan with a mix of defiance and hatred. Through gritted teeth, he taunted Lu Fan, comparing his strength to that of unyielding rock. At that critical moment, a brilliant golden aura enveloped Hong Wu's body, shimmering with potent energy. He had believed his defense was impenetrable, fortified by the solid as a rock skill that consumed all his Qi to create an impervious barrier. For each point of Qi spent, the defense bolstered by 5%, making it formidable against all but the strongest attacks. Yet, in disbelief, Hong Wu watched as Lu Fan, with a determined expression, unleashed an assault that shattered his confidence. Lu Fan, operating in a league of his own, surged forward with unwavering momentum. His focused gaze locked onto Hong Wu as he delivered a devastating kick straight to Hong Wu's chest. The impact shattered the supposedly impenetrable shield into countless shards, sending shockwaves of pain through Hong Wu's body. As agony gripped him, Hong Wu screamed in disbelief and anguish. How could this happen? How could Lu Fan break through his defense so effortlessly? Blood trickled from his lips, his body thrown backwards with the force of the blow. Doubt clouded his mind as he questioned if this duel was already lost, grappling with the inexplicable defeat at the hands of Lu Fan. Meanwhile, Lu Fan stood calmly amidst the aftermath, silently observing Hong Wu's struggle. His demeanor spoke volumes, a quiet confidence emanating from him as he watched Hong Wu's descent. The other students, witnessing the scene unfold, were stunned into disbelief. They had known Hong Wu's prowess well, his reputation as a Qi master preceded him. Yet here was Lu Fan, triumphing with a single strike, without even summoning his dragon pet. The impact of Lu Fan's victory reverberated through the spectators. Disbelief mingled with awe at the display of strength. Hong Wu lay several meters away, his defeat echoing louder than any words spoken. As Lu Fan landed gracefully on the ground, he turned his head, locking eyes once more with Hong Wu, who lay battered but not defeated in spirit. In the tense aftermath of the duel, a drop of sweat rolled down the cheek of a student with brown hair, his confusion evident as he gazed at the scene unfolding before him. He turned to his friend, a companion with blue hair, and voiced his disbelief. Was the duel really over already? He had expected to witness the summoning of a dragon, a spectacle befitting such a high-stakes confrontation. His friend's eyes widened as they followed the brown-haired student's gaze towards Hong Wu, now lying on the ground, blood staining the arena floor. Fear crept into his voice as he asked if something terrible was about to happen. The intensity of the duel and the unexpected turn of events left them both shaken. Meanwhile, Hong Wu lay motionless, eyes closed, blood seeping from his mouth. His defeat was stark, a testament to Lu Fan's overwhelming strength and skill. Approaching calmly, Lu Fan extended a hand towards him, his expression serious as he addressed the fallen warrior. With a mix of respect and solemnity, Lu Fan remarked that Hong Wu's ability had fallen short. He noted, almost casually, that he hadn't even exerted his full strength yet. Across the arena, Princess Jin Zhu, her hands on her waist, watched the duel with a grave expression. Turning to Chu Yanji, her trusted companion, she inquired about Lu Fan's capabilities and the likelihood of defeating him. Chu Yanji, his gaze fixed on Lu Fan with a hint of animosity, assessed the situation coolly. He explained to the princess that Lu Fan hadn't even needed to summon his dragon pet, an indication of his formidable personal prowess. With a serious tone, Chu Yanji estimated his own chances in a confrontation with Lu Fan. He believed he had a 30% chance based on his analysis of Lu Fan's abilities alone. However, he proposed a strategy that could tilt the odds significantly in his favor. If Princess Jinju applied her unique buffs and support to him, Chu Yanji asserted, their combined effort could raise his chances to a commanding 70% against Lu Fan. On the other side of the arena, Lu Fan casually slipped his hands into his pants pockets, his back turned to the crowd. With deliberate strides, he began to walk away from the scene, leaving behind a mixture of awe and intrigue among the spectators. Princess Jinju, her hands firmly on her waist, turned her head to follow Lu Fan's departure. She remarked to Chen, her attendant, that the odds were not as low as one might think. Nearby, Hong Wu, still recovering on the ground, propped himself up with one trembling hand while the other clutched his chest in pain. With great effort, he lifted his head, one eye opening to fixate on Lu Fan's next move. He clenched his teeth, a mix of defiance and apprehension in his gaze, as he watched Lu Fan produce a card. The sight of the card caused Hong Wu's concern to deepen. He understood the implications. It was a wager, and he had lost. Lu Fan brought the card closer to his face, a smile playing on his lips as he explained the terms. It was clear. The one who proposed the bet must accept the outcome. Lu Fan decided to accept the 200 points. At that moment, the statistics window of Lu Fan's Dragon University identification card materialized, displaying his updated total, 13,731 points. Hong Wu, still reeling from the impact of defeat, stared in disbelief. His expression shifted dramatically as he comprehended the vast difference in their points. The realization was staggering. Lu Fan's accumulated points were far beyond anything he had imagined. The magnitude of Lu Fan's achievement hit Hong Wu hard. He couldn't help but marvel at the disparity. Sweat beaded on his forehead as fear and astonishment washed over him. Recalling the difficulty multiplier for the Southern Province trials, Hong Wu hastily calculated the implications. It dawned on him that Lu Fan had amassed a staggering 1.3 million points from the trial alone. Overwhelmed, Hong Wu sank back to the ground, his hand pressed against the cool earth. He sat there, defeated and humbled by the vast gap in their abilities and accomplishments. The memory of Chu Yanji, who had achieved 210,000 points and ranked second, only emphasized the monumental distance between them and Lu Fan. Meanwhile, Lu Fan, having concluded his business, turned away from Hong Wu and began to walk calmly in the opposite direction. Hong Wu, still seated on the ground, gazed downward, reflecting on his misguided confidence. The disparity in points between them had shattered any illusions he had harbored about his chances against Lu Fan. Lu Fan and his group made their way to the Great Hall of Central Dragon Academy, a place steeped in tradition and grandeur. As they approached the imposing entrance, Qin Xiu stood by the door, holding her magical staff with one hand. Her face lit up with joy upon seeing Lu Fan, and she eagerly informed him that Aunt Hanjia had already been notified and would soon arrive to meet them. Nearby, Tao Xiaoman stood with her hands clasped behind her back, observing the scene silently. She couldn't help but smile, her eyes twinkling with a mixture of curiosity and admiration. Moments later, Hanjia burst into the grand hall, her worry palpable as she rushed towards Lu Fan. Her voice was filled with concern as she asked who had dared to challenge him and if he was hurt. Lu Fan, holding a tablet with both hands, turned his head towards her, his expression calm and reassuring. He asked her not to worry, his demeanor steady and composed. Tao Xiaoman also entered the hall, her presence commanding attention. With one hand extended towards the ground and the other clenched into a tight fist, she looked at Qin Xiu. Noticing Qin Xiu's blush, Tao Xiaoman recounted how Lu Fan had effortlessly kicked Hong Wu, defeating him with a single blow. Qin Xiu, standing close with her magical staff, grabbed Tao Xiaoman's arm and gazed into her eyes, her cheeks flushing deeper. She reminded Tao Xiaoman that she had always said Lu Fan was exceptionally strong. She added that the first time she had seen Lu Fan fight, he had been even more impressive than Uncle Go, a legendary figure in their circles. Hearing this, Tao Xiaoman's thoughts wandered to Lu Fan's dragon pet. If Lu Fan himself was so powerful, then his dragon pet must be even more formidable. The idea was almost too much for her to comprehend. Qin Xiu, noticing Tao Xiaoman's contemplation, responded softly, "In reality, his dragon pet is beyond our imagination." While Qin Xiu and Tao Xiaoman continued their conversation, Lu Fan, holding his tablet, approached them and began showing the screen to get their attention. Hearing Lu Fan's voice, they turned their heads towards him. Lu Fan's eyes sparkled with excitement, and a smile spread across his face as he announced that now that everyone was gathered, it was time to explore a secret realm they could conquer together. Hanjia, standing behind Lu Fan, stepped forward with a look of surprise and curiosity. She asked what this was all about. Lu Fan explained that he had been consulting the secret realms provided by the Academy and had found one with the highest experience value, making it the most suitable for their group to level up. The tablet displayed Lu Fan's information, revealing his impressive total of 13,731 points. The Academy boasted 49 secret realms, and the one they would venture into was called Poisonous Spiderwood Forest. This secret realm required a minimum level of 45 and was notoriously difficult, with a terrifying reputation. Entry required at least 5 people, and the cost to open the portal was 45 points. As Lu Fan explained, his expression turned contemplative. He closed his eyes briefly, reflecting that if it weren't for Hong Wu's challenge, his J-Dragon, Xiao Fei, would have already leveled up. Hanjia, noticing Lu Fan's moment of introspection, stepped closer. She looked at him with concern and surprise. She pointed out that while he had invited her to join the exploration of this secret realm, its level was 45, a level that was anything but trivial. Sweat formed on her brow as she emphasized that this wasn't child's play. It could be extremely dangerous and even deadly. While Lu Fan held the tablet in his hands, he turned towards Hanjia with a reassuring smile, looking into her eyes. He calmly assured her not to worry, expressing his confidence in his ability to lead everyone safely through the upcoming adventure. Meanwhile, Tao Xiaoman approached them, her expression puzzled as she glanced at the tablet screen. She voiced her concern, pointing out that despite Hanjia's presence, they only had 4 people. According to the rules, they needed at least 5 members to enter the level 45 secret realm safely. Taking this seriously, Lu Fan shifted his attention to Qin Xiu, his gaze intent. He asked her who else they could recruit to complete their team of 5. Qin Xiu appeared surprised momentarily, then turned her head to scan their surroundings. Her eyes settled on someone sitting nearby in the villa's sitting area, engrossed in their own tablet and searching for secret realms. Lu Fan and Qin Xiu both turned towards this person. Qin Xiu informed Lu Fan that their neighbor from Villa Number 2 was present. She noted that this neighbor had the second highest score among them, indicating that the level 45 secret realm would pose no challenge for her. Encouraged by Qin Xiu's suggestion, she proposed inviting their neighbor to join their team. Qin Xiu urged Lu Fan to give it a try, recognizing the potential strength and expertise their neighbor could bring to their expedition. Lu Fan approached Jian Ying with a worried expression. He greeted her, his voice gentle and warm. Jian Ying, who was holding a tablet with both hands, turned her head and looked into his eyes. Lu Fan extended his hand towards her, his gaze filled with joy, and said hello with a smile. However, upon realizing it was Lu Fan, Jian Ying's expression quickly changed to one of disgust. Seeing her reaction, Lu Fan understood that something was wrong. She clearly misunderstood him. He recalled that his behavior during his search for the Jade Dragon Egg had been quite confusing and might have contributed to her misunderstanding. Trying to salvage the situation, Lu Fan approached her again. A drop of sweat fell from his cheek as he looked at her. Noticing that Jian Ying was also searching for secret realms, he asked if she would join them. Lu Fan knew it was tough to communicate with Jian Ying and expected she might only respond with a yes or no. Meanwhile, Han Jia, Qin Xiu, and Tao Xiaoman also approached Jian Ying and stared at her intently, waiting for her response. Jian Ying, still holding the tablet with one hand and resting the other on her knee, remained silent, contemplating. After a few seconds, Jian Ying looked at Lu Fan with a hateful gaze and called him a pervert. Hearing this, Han Jia brought her hand close to her face, looked at Lu Fan with a confused expression, and couldn't help but wonder what was happening. Qin Xiu distanced herself from Lu Fan, her gaze also confused, unable to understand the situation. Tao Xiaoman, with one hand on her waist, looked at Lu Fan and asked what he had done to Jian Ying. Panicking, Lu Fan turned his head back and, upon seeing their expressions, realized the gravity of the situation. He quickly explained to them that it was all a misunderstanding. In order to defuse the escalating misunderstanding, Lu Fan swiftly retrieved his tablet and showed it to Jian Ying once more. With a forced smile, he pointed at the screen, explaining that their initial encounter might have been awkward, but he assured her that he was a good person. He emphasized his sincerity, swearing to her earnestly. Jian Ying, still skeptical, observed him closely, her expression guarded. Lu Fan, sensing Jian Ying's hesitation, also recognized that she was in search of a team to explore the secret realm and likely didn't know many people on campus. Seizing the opportunity, Lu Fan proposed the idea of forming a team together and venturing into the poisonous spider forest. At the mention of the forest's name, Jian Ying's gaze sharpened, and she fell silent as she contemplated the offer. After a moment's thought, Jian Ying surprised Lu Fan by accepting his proposal without hesitation. Her decision brought a smile to Lu Fan's face, and behind him, Han Jia, who had been observing the exchange, clasped her hands together and closed her eyes with a smile of approval. She held her tablet with one hand, silently affirming the newfound alliance forming before her. With a hand on his waist, Lu Fan turned to Jian Ying, his smile widening as he asked if this meant they had finally formed a team. Jian Ying nodded solemnly, her expression softening slightly as she acknowledged their agreement. Meanwhile, Qin Xiu turned to Tao Xiaoman and remarked that despite any initial setbacks, Lu Fan had successfully convinced Jian Ying to join their team, a significant achievement. Tao Xiaoman, her hand resting on her waist, looked at Qin Xiu with joy shining in her eyes. She agreed, noting how effortlessly Lu Fan had recruited one of the most talented individuals in Yunbei province to their cause with just a few words. Jian Ying stood up from her seat and turned her back to Lu Fan and the others. Determinedly, she made her way towards the equipment used to activate the portal. Lu Fan, noticing her intent, hurried to reach out to her, offering to cover the points required for activating the portal. However, before he could finish his sentence, Jian Ying calmly declined his offer, asserting that it wasn't necessary. At the activation equipment, Jian Ying retrieved her academy card and placed it on the device. Instantly, the equipment began to glow, signaling the initiation of the portal opening process. Within moments, a shimmering portal materialized before them. Jian Ying turned back to face Lu Fan, Han Jia, Qin Xiu, and Tao Xiaoman, gesturing for them to enter. As Jian Ying activated the portal, the information from her identification card appeared on the screen. It showed that she had indeed opened the portal to the secret realm known as the Poisonous Spider Forest, utilizing 45 points from her total. Now, Jian Ying's remaining points totaled 8,744. Lu Fan, observing this data with a serious expression, noted that Jian Ying's accumulated points exceeded 8,000. He contemplated the difficulty coefficient of Yunbei province, recognizing that even with the maximum coefficient in the southern province at 96, Jian Ying's main exam scores had surpassed 800,000 points. This realization led Lu Fan to conclude that Jian Ying's abilities were formidable and should not be underestimated. Several minutes passed inside the portal, and one by one, Lu Fan, Han Jia, Qin Xiu, Tao Xiaoman, and Jian Ying emerged into the poisonous spider forest. The transition from the academy grounds to the secret realm was palpable. The air felt thicker, and even breathing seemed more laborious. Han Jia, feeling the change in atmosphere, placed her hand near her mouth and remarked on how the mere act of breathing felt challenging in this unfamiliar environment. Her observation resonated with the rest of the team, who also felt the weight of the atmosphere. Qin Xiu, gripping her magical staff tightly with both hands, took a moment to survey their surroundings. She pondered aloud whether this dense and eerie forest ahead of them was indeed the poisonous spider forest, as designated by the Academy's records. Lu Fan, scanning the dark expanse shrouded in fog, couldn't hide his surprise. The forest seemed to stretch endlessly before them, its shadows playing tricks on their eyes. With a composed demeanor, Lu Fan gathered everyone's attention and announced that they had arrived at their destination within the secret realm. He pointed out that their ultimate goal lay at the far end of this challenging terrain, a distant point visible through the mist.